Before we get into today's special episode of CSGO News, I want to thank you all so much for the great comments and the feedback on yesterday's video. We broke 600 likes. Thank you all so much for that. As always, let's get right into it. And for the first story in today's episode of CSGO News, we do have potential glove case 2 coming to CSGO, obviously offering new glove types for all of you guys. This actual game files were actually leaked this morning around 8 hours ago, as well as Anomaly has already posted a video about this. So I'll link Anomaly's video down below for all of you, and I'll show you guys the screenshots of all those potential new glove skins on screen right now. It does seem the coolest ones I've seen so far, the snake skin camos, as well as the new fade camo for gloves. Now obviously if a fade camo comes out for gloves, there could also be potential new fade patterns for that individual glove itself, which adds a whole new element for all of us if these glove case 2s are actually confirmed. So it does seem, if we're hopeful guys, in the next month or so for CSGO, we could see not only our newest operation, but along with that, the new glove case 2 coming soon to CSGO. It is definitely likely. And again, before we get into our second story, it's going to be a longer story for all of you. As always, time markers for every story are down below in the description for all of you guys to click back and forth to if you guys have no interest in this. I talked about yesterday, guys, the return of KQLY to competitive play. We've talked about in the past, of course, ESL's new VAC ban rule. You have to be VAC banned for 2 years until you can actually return to ESL events. As of right now, Valve still has those players permanently banned. But I want to talk quickly about the KQLY return, of course, to Vexed Gaming. Now, Vexed announced 24 hours ago that KQLY would be joining the roster on screen right now, but shortly afterwards, we had 2 of their players, their current players, Jared and Smiley, or I should say former players, because they actually announced they had no decision in this, and they were not aware of the decision until it was actually announced by VACARM, HLTV, CSGO News, other sources out there. They were not aware of the decision being made that KQLY was actually joining their roster for the time being in ESEA, which is the Counter-Strike Nationals coming up this summer, and he would actually be replacing Alumet on their actual roster. Now, these players, Jared and Smiley, have since requested their leave from the team and actually be put on the bench. So going forward, it does seem that Vexed Gaming has potentially moved these players from their roster completely and actually lost those 2 players just because they decided to pick up for a trial member a former VAC ban player, KQLY. Now, on top of this, they also lost their coach, Wiper. Now, Wiper, unlike those players, Jared and Smiley requested to be benched, but it seems they might have been kicked as of right now. We don't know the full details. Wiper has already announced his actual transformation away from the team and his leave of the team altogether. He's been a coach for this squad for a very short amount of time, and right afterwards he said he'll be joining Jared and Smiley. So it does seem, as of right now, for this whole controversial instance, guys, yes, just 24 hours ago we announced that KQLY would be joining Vexed Gaming. Within 12 hours of that, they have lost 2 of their current roster members as well as their coach. They are now down to the current roster on screen right now for all of you guys. They are now down to just 3 players. So it does seem, although heavily controversial, I want to share with you guys my quick thoughts about the situation and why this should maybe not be happening. So many of you guys know that a couple weeks ago we had ESL announce their new 2-year VAC ban rule, which meant that VAC ban players could participate in ESL events. We could probably say a large portion, including myself as well as you guys out there, agree in the fact that all cheaters should be treated equally in the eyes of ESL and maybe in the future in the eyes of Valve. Now what I mean by this is if ESL is going to bring back VAC ban pro players, we all generally agree in the community, unless you guys disagree, I understand that, but I think a large majority of actually us agreed, if they're going to bring back VAC ban players, they should also bring back match fixers to at least ESL events. Now Valve, they're a totally different entity. We don't really know about them. For ESL though, if they're going to allow one type of cheater, we agree they should allow both types of cheaters. Now going forward, where the hypocrisy lies, and please follow along with me, the large portion of you guys who agree with that previous statement that all cheaters should be treated equally, a lot of you guys are also cheering on the fact that Jared and Smiley and their coach Wiper are refusing to play with KQLY. Now, why I don't agree with this is the fact that what do you expect to happen when maybe your boys from iBuyPower, Swag, Steel, Daze, what do you expect to happen when they come back? What do you want to happen? Would you want the same fate for them not to be able to find a team, to find sponsors? I highly doubt that. It seems as of right now, KQLY has a very far less community backing than those iBuyPower guys do, because I can guarantee you if those 3 players, Swag, Daze, Steel, came back, within a few weeks they would have an organization, they would have a team, they would probably have a sponsor as well, and the community would actually be cheering them on. But it seems the hypocrisy lies as of right now that everyone is kind of cheering on the fact that no one wants to play with KQLY, but when it comes back to match fixers coming back, we're going to cheer them on finding a team, and we're going to support them way more than we support the other type of cheater. So I want your comments down below, guys. What do you think? As of right now, only comment down below if you guys are in agreement with this. If you guys support the iBuyPower players coming back, but somehow do not support KQLY coming back, give me your reason as to why. Now, I do understand understand he was a back-end player instead of a match fixer. So please tell me why some of you guys are cheering on the fact that KQLY won't have teammates or he won't have an organization, but you still want the iBuyPower players to come back and have the same thing. I want to quickly read this off for all of you just so you understand my actual overall position. I understand that match fixing is not necessarily cheating, but to some people it's an equally wrong offense and should be met with equal punishment. So let me know your ideas down below. What do you guys think? Should match fixers and backbend players be treated equally or not? And in the lighter news for all of you guys, we actually had Gamerz, the CSGO reality TV show I talked about to all of you. It actually live for the first time on Twitch and YouTube just yesterday on May 1st, and it actually did turn out quite well, but it was met with a little bit of mixed controversy and mixed results because the airing episode, the pilot episode, was only 20 minutes long. So I'll show you guys some preview clips of that, but the actual official first episode should be airing on May 5th. So about 3 or 4 days from the point of you guys watching this video, it should be the first official episode for that. It did look really cool though, so here's some quick previews for all of you guys, and hopefully my clips are non-copyright.
The search for the next generation of superstars began in the winter, when the 12 spots were up for grabs.
Skitnervös. Jag har vad som krävs. Jag är helt säker på att jag kommer bli uttagen.
Hur man är som person avgör väldigt mycket hur man är som spelare.
Okay, team, follow my command.
And in FPL or Face It Pro League news for all of you, Season 35 champion was actually our Turkish member from Space Soldiers, that is Xantares. He actually took the title quite easily over his fellow Turkish mate over there, that is actually Vexed. He currently plays for X Dark Passage, so those are, I'll show you guys the top 5 stands on screen right now for all of you. But Xantares took the FPL Season 35 title, as well as 1.5 million Face It points, and if you guys don't know, that's actually worth around $5,000, along with some gear for him to be wearing around. So that's really cool news. Also, more importantly though, even cooler news for all of you guys who are wondering, I talked about Zoie Burgher, a new esports agency or gaming organization known as the Stream Team yesterday, also known as Luxe Gaming LLC. They actually follow me back on Twitter, so I'll be stripping for you guys in no time and looking like a really good streamer. Yeah, so that was cool. And then for our last story for today's episode of CSGO News, some smaller news for all of you as well. It includes the team known as Miami Flamingos. If you guys don't remember, Miami Flamingos actually signed this roster back in November and moved them all out into a house in January back in Florida. So it's their first time. They've only been in America for about 3 to 4 months now, and they actually won the ESEA Open Championships, and they dropped 1 map the entire season. Now, we could argue as of right now, of course, in ESEA Open, the talent there is obviously far less than Tier 2, Tier 3, or whatever you get into outside of ESEA, but still the team only dropped 1 map the entire season. They are your ESEA Open champions. And if you give you guys a little breakdown of the roster on screen right now, they have signed 3 Argentinians. One of them was Johnny Boy, probably their most prominent player. He actually played in TWC back in 2016 and did quite well for Argentina there. They actually placed second to Turkey in that tournament. The rest of the roster, though, as well, kind of a mix here for Miami Flamingos, especially because the Miami Flamingos is a North American organization, and of course with this Argentinian as well as Latin American mix here, it's going to be cool to see how they do in the future once they're out of ESEA. Congrats to them, though, guys. Hopefully, best of luck making it to Premier as well and see how they do there. So as always, hope you guys all enjoy. My name is Jake. Remember, I like you. Thank you all for the great support in my last few videos. It's been really weird to see how the likes are skyrocketing to the roof. Thank you all for the great comments and the likes. I mean, it's amazing to see these likes are at record highs ever since last year, and yet my views are still down. But again, that does not matter. Thank you all for the great support. As always, live, love, laugh a lot. Remember, I like you. I will see you all hopefully tomorrow or sometime soon with more videos on CSGO News and some other special stuff coming for all of you. So, I'm going to leave now. Goodbye.